We begin with a story that has captivated the attention of the American public. 6 days ago, 5 people inside the submersible known as the Titan began their dive to see the Titanic. They did not return to the surface of the ocean alive. And good evening. Welcome to your News at 4 today. I'm Keith Jouganatos. Today was a final day of tributes and farewells to Rosalynn Carter. The former First Lady had a private funeral in the small Georgia town where she was born and where she lived for decades with her husband, former President Jimmy Carter. In Washington, where on Friday, President Joe Biden looked to cancel student loan debt for millions of Americans. The Supreme Court, however, had other plans, resulting in a crushing blow to the president's vision. Welcome back. A battle is brewing between the presidential election frontrunners over the Affordable Care Act, which affects tens of millions of Americans. Former President Donald Trump has renewed his attacks on the program and is vowing to demolish it. Meanwhile, President Joe Biden is warning voters the effort to repeal the landmark health reform law is a threat to families across the country. Washington correspondent Julia Benbrook has the details. Well, a growing number of Americans are working multiple jobs. That's according to the October jobs report from the Labor Department. The latest report shows nearly 8.4 million people had multiple jobs in the month of October alone. That is the highest number since the start of the pandemic. And women appear to be leading that trend. The federal data shows nearly 6% of women worked multiple jobs in the month of October. That's compared to 4.7% of men. There's also fear that layoffs could have people looking for supplemental jobs, but one economist says layoffs are actually historically low right now. A gunman opened fire and killed 3 people at a Dollar General store Saturday afternoon in Jacksonville, Florida. Authorities said during a media briefing that the mass shooting was racially motivated. The shooting started shortly after 1 p.m. Eastern time inside the store. The gunfire killed 2 men and 1 woman. All of the victims were black. The suspect, described as a white man in his 20s, shot and killed himself after the attack. The Jacksonville sheriff said investigators believe the gunman acted alone and wore both a tactical vest and mask. Welcome back. Well, if you're a fan of True Love and our area, we have a big milestone today you're going to enjoy because Harold and Carolyn Maynor of Greene, New York are celebrating their 78th anniversary today. As their son Jason put it to us in an email to our station, they married in 1945, a farm boy and a town girl who moved from the Syracuse area to Greene, New York, and they brought 5 children who they each loved deeply into this world. Carolyn, known for her famous apple pies at the Apple Fest, and Harold, known for his radio work, helping families talk to their boys over during the Vietnam War. And 78 years ago today, they say I do, and for that, everyone at WB&G wants to give you a hand clap. Like Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell said, ain't nothing like the real thing, baby. 78 years. Can you imagine being married to somebody for 78 years? During our shows, and our Jill Croce is there live right now. And Jill, like we saw on the 5:30, the phones, they're ringing off the hook. Good news travels fast. We go to break. Here's your live look at Johnson City on this chilly Thursday night. A quiet, chilly night. But will we need to bundle up more going into our weekend? Howard Mangis will tell you in his forecast when we come back. Well, time now for a weather update. Here's a live look across Johnson City on this quiet Thursday night. Chief Meteorologist Howard Mangis with us in studio. And Howard, a quiet day in Broome County. Well, can the same be said for our Friday?
No, it cannot be. You can say it, but it wouldn't be very accurate.